Well, many of you will hit the road this week to spend Thanksgiving with family and friends.
Yeah, along the way, you'll see lots of different road signs to help you guide your way. Too bad the stock market doesn't come with the same kinds of instructions. If we had signs to warn us about the dangers, we might not lose as much when the market takes a downturn.
The stock market doesn't have those warning signs, but there is software available that does, and Bryant Retirement Strategies has it. Omaha's retirement strategist, Bryant returns.
Yes.
Tell us all about it. Daryl,
Hey,
good to see you.
Daryl.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. We touched on this briefly last week when Mike was out on that hard assignment at a pizza shop.
Yeah, good job on that, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. I worked very hard on that. But this software is called Wealthguard, isn't it?
Wealthguard,
Yeah. How's it work?
Yeah, so turn the clock back. Think if you're age 65 or 70 right now, then back in 2008, well, you were just pre-60, maybe you were 55 to 60 years old. The market fell through the floor. You weren't terribly worried about it at the time, right? But what if that were to happen today without any warning? And most people do not look at their statements, but maybe once a quarter. We have some people who will come and say, you know what, I never look at my statement. I don't think my guy is looking at my statements, et cetera. And back in 2008 and 9, 7, 8, 9, the total drawdown was 51%. 51% on the S&P. Well, if the market were to fall 51% and you're 62 years old or 67 years old or 72 years old and your portfolio were to drop by 50%, that would be a terrible thing, right?
Devastating.
We used to say 401ks became 201ks, okay, which is still not that funny,
Right.
right? So anyways, but if you were to attach a device, okay, portfolio monitoring to all of your stuff, okay, your 401k, your 403b, your IRA, your Roth IRA, that had a warning system on it, at your predetermined number, let's say, Mike, you said, you know what, I'm getting really, you're really young, but I'm getting really close to retirement. If I had a 10% decline in my portfolio right now, that would be devastating. If I had a 15%, if I had a 50%, that would change my entire life. It'll change your life.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is big stuff. So if you were to have a warning device on all of your accounts, every single one of them, that would send you a text or an email that said, hey, you better pay attention, you're in the yellow. Right? So all of our accounts right now are in the green, right? But we have Wealthguard on every single one of our accounts. So if an account were to, in the unlikely event, because we actively manage our accounts, we're not just a buy and hold shop, but if we were to see you drop into the yellow, which means you're off a few points, right? You'd get an alert, I'd get an alert, we'd be having a conversation, we take evasive action, and we're never going to let that happen again. Our clients understand that there's no way that we could have a reoccurrence, like a 30 or 40% decline. That'll it'll change your life, okay? It'll change your life if you were to have that happen.
We have this significant example of 2008, 2009. You've talked about market corrections. They're inevitable. Even a presidential election causes swings, temporary, whatever it is.
Sure.
So in all of those cases, from sort of the day-to-day stuff to the more extreme, can Wealthguard help? I mean, you don't need it to be 2008 for it to make sense, I guess.
Of course. Well, we're waiting for a correction right now, aren't we? We've been 8 years into this manipulated expansion of the stock market, so we're way overdue for a correction. Any gyration in the market, you'd want to know about it, right? If there was a significant one, if your number was 7.5%, hey, if my 100,000 were to drop to 92.5, you and I better be having a talk. If that was your comment to me, well, you'd have a 7.5% asset lock or a 10%, right? Et cetera. So it's terribly important. Can it happen any moment? Sure it can. We can see a decline. And listen, we always say this. We always say the bears, right? Bears take the elevator, okay? And the bulls take the stairs, okay? So it happens very quickly, and then the recovery is usually quite slow. In other words, if it happens at age 68 or 70, you got a problem.
Yeah, well, you explained it very well here, but we have a video that you brought in to help explain a little bit more about Wealthguard. Take a look.
You've worked hard to get where you are. You are smart and responsible, always looking toward the future. And you've invested in your retirement along the way. But what happens to those investments in a large market crash? Now you can minimize the risk by monitoring and protecting your financial investments with Wealthguard. Here's how it works. We help determine how much risk you should be taking with your investments and what your ideal asset allocation is. With this information, we assign you a Wealthguard number. Your Wealthguard number is the percentage of loss you are comfortable with based on the peak amount of your investments. Your Wealthguard value is synced to your investment value. So as your portfolio rises, so does your Wealthguard. If your investments drop too close to your Wealthguard number, you and your financial advisor are notified and a new investment strategy can be created. If a time comes when your Wealthguard number is reached, you and your advisor will be notified again, and your new strategy can be implemented, potentially saving you from drastic loss. And by adjusting your portfolio strategy and Wealthguard percentage, you may improve your outcome in the current market conditions. With Wealthguard, you can manage all of your investment accounts from one place, including those managed directly by an advisor or a company retirement plan. You can take control of unnecessary risk, protect your retirement, and secure your lifestyle for years to come.
Well, Daryl was just telling us only a select few advisors around the country have access to Wealthguard.
That's right, but he is making it available to qualified callers right now who want to see firsthand really how Wealthguard can protect your life saving. He's giving a complimentary trial. If you call in the next 30 minutes, you don't have long, you've got 30 minutes. The number is 402-932-2141.
Okay, so Daryl, the value of this offer, I mean, I think it speaks for itself, but boil it down.
Well, okay, there are very few things that'll change your retirement, right? It'll turn it on its ear, because you will never be afraid of a reoccurrence of that. Just imagine the emotion that you went through if you were 55 and that happened. Imagine if that happened right now, the decline in the market, that is, the decline in values, and you're a year away from retiring. That would change your ability, it would change your plans. What if you were just on the other side of retirement?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a big deal, it's a life changer.
Yes.
What is the benefit? I mean, how often do you have to monitor your retirement savings? A daily basis and an hourly basis to get this type of protection?
This is 24/7, round the clock.
Right.
We always know on the button exactly what your account
You
is.
can't do what Wealthguard does for you.
Can't do it. Yeah, you have to
You
take
just
advantage of
can't.
technology. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you so much, Daryl.
Yeah.
And
Good to
a
see you.
really nice piece in the Omaha World Herald, if you haven't seen it
Regarding
from
Moses,
the
yeah.
weekend.
His son Moses.
Yeah, that was Daryl. That's his family.
Yeah.
So thank you for being
Great
here.
article.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Daryl.
Yeah.
See you.
Guests of the Morning Blend, start their day with coffee from